from the mountain to the prairie.
Welcome to the Watchdog Report. Oh, there you go. My name is Ed Ciffone, President of the United Taxpayers of Yorktown and Yorktown Watchdog. This is my show. I host the Watchdog Report for the last 9 years. Well, tonight, before I start, I like to just, this is a patch that was sent to me by Troop 173, 50 years in existence. I spent 33 of my years as a scout leader in Troop 173. They invited me back, and I thought it was really nice. I had about 20 Eagle Scouts underneath me. And with the Scout Oath, the town board and the rest of the politicians should take it from there, because the first thing it says is that you're supposed to be trustworthy and honest and loyal and brave and thrifty. That's especially thing with the towns with taxes are so high. Clean and reverent. So they have a party going on at St. Pat's on the 27th, and it'll be great to go. Now, tonight's show, Mike DeLuca is my new director, and we're trying to do a show every month. So, a lot of things happen in a month. So let's start with Yorktown. Oh, again, George on deck, supposed to be here tonight. He couldn't make it again. So you got me by myself. And when I felt really lonely, that's why I have Nick next to me here. Nick DiTomaso, people don't know, in 2006, we started the Watchdog Report. And he passed away in May, almost 2 years now. So I missed the character, and we were always there fighting for the people of Yorktown, no matter what. And I remember I got 5 minutes too late when Tom, the cameraman, shoved Nick through the chairs at a town board meeting. I think it was November 11th, 2011. And Nick never went back to the board meetings, but I still go. Now let me just tell you what's happening. Now that's harassment, that's assault, okay? Now, I've been going to the board meetings, and 2 times now, this guy has come in front of me. Now, I'm standing on a podium talking. He comes in front of me, takes a deep breath. I don't know if he was going to hit me or not, okay? I looked at him, he looked at me, then he turned around and sat down. That was about a month ago. And then 2 weeks ago, same guy starts yelling at a senior citizen that was standing for courtesy of the floor. So I yell out to the supervisor, "Aren't you going to stop this guy?" And the supervisor's yelling at me, Michael Grace. He bangs his gavel. That's it, the meeting's over, bum, 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 bum. And he's looking at me that I disrupted the whole thing. Meanwhile, this guy disrupted the whole meeting. And then he gets up there on the podium and he apologizes for losing his temper. There's a lot of loose cannons out there at these town board meetings. And it's getting closer and closer to me having a confrontation with these people. So now, as I'm on the podium, I say my thing, and I go to leave. And where is this guy? At the exit door. So now you have police officers at the town board meetings. So I told the guys, "Hey, follow me out." So what happens next? He grabs my arm. I don't know what he was going to do, but he says, "I apologize. I shouldn't have did what I did." And the cop says, "You okay?" I says, "Don't leave yet because I don't know what this guy's going to do." And then he gets up at the podium and he apologizes to the board and the town and the people in the audience. So, Nick, nothing's changed. Remember when we were at a meeting and the ex-chief of police, Bob Aruda, tried to lock us up? That was... being a tax activist is really not an easy thing to do. I told you before, that same chief of police said he was going to throw me through an effing fence. He went to grab his gun. People surrounded him. And the best part, him and his wife are doing anger management. That's classic. Two people that should go to anger management are now teaching it. So I don't know if he's still in town or not. But let's get into some of the issues. Okay. Now, I wrote a letter to the Examiner. I'll read some of it. Yorktown Republican board members have become time bandits. And I'll tell you why. By reducing the amount of time for courtesy of the floor, they have cut down the right of freedom of speech at our town board meetings. At the work sessions, the supervisor refuses to turn on microphones so residents could hear what's going on and discuss at the meeting. In my opinion, the supervisor has become, Michael Grace, has become a dictator, and his cronies, board members, comprised of bullies, and these people are yelling at people. They're on the board. And one guy yelled at one guy, and he says, "That's part of my personality." Give me a break. And there's puppets, because whatever Michael Grace does, they say what's going on, and then rubber stamps. So what they did, let me just stop it a second, but what they did, they're trying to have 4 closed sessions of the town board in the month of March. There's actually one tonight. Today's the 17th. When this is over, I'm going to try to go to town hall. But what they did, they made it closed sessions where they're talking about subjects that they're not supposed to do in closed sessions. So let me continue on here, okay? So I'm a 45-year resident of Yorktown and president of the United Taxpayers of Yorktown. The UTY's mission is to inform the public, that's what I'm doing right now, and speaking out on issues on taxes at all levels of government. The UTY members get no respect. Here are some of the examples at the budget hearing where we bring up how to reduce the budget, oh man. We bring up how to reduce the budget by using the fund balance, that's the surplus. And they have, this year they have over $7 million in surplus money that they haven't used. So they're not using it for spending, and they didn't reduce the budget by a nickel. Unbelievable. One of our members and his wife discovered that Supervisor Grace hasn't paid his property taxes since 2013. That was over $30,000, and his properties were under-assessed. Our member was told by the Supervisor Grace that he will never be able to speak at any town board meetings again. Unbelievable, right? Do you pay your taxes on time? Do you believe in freedom of speech? Do you think there should be 2 courtesies of the floor, first at the beginning of the meeting and then another time at the end of the meeting when all the town business has been completed? I do. Okay, that's what, okay. Friends of Michael Grace has intimate friends and cronies are everywhere. Just connect the dots, that's the people all around them. Supervisor Grace is using nepotism, which is another word for favoritism, by hiring the judge that adjudicated his son's cases. Of course, the town judges from Yorktown had to recuse themselves. So we got a guy from Somers. He decided not to do his son's cases anymore. They bring in another judge, McDermott, was his name, and they bring another judge in from Cortland. And what happens? The town supervisor, Michael Grace, makes the judge the town attorney and fires the town attorney. Unbelievable. All right, and lastly, the moving of the highway garage. He continues his quest to make the move with no funds. He kept saying he was going to get grants from the state. That never happened. Okay. And the members of the U2Y collected probably now, this month, probably 4,000 signatures saying no to the move. And if you want to sign up and sign our petition, go to change.org, search for Yorktown, and it says say no to the move, the highway garage, and sign in. Okay. And the last thing, why is affordable housing popping up all over the town? Beware of the county and the town officials that are working behind the scenes with HUD to satisfy the Westchester County agreement to desegregate our county. Why so many planned in our town? Okay, now you'll see on the graphics, the only way to fight these plans is to join the UTY. Now, my number is 245-1018. You can call me, or you can send me an email at yorktownwatchdog@aol.com. And the last thing is our website is yorktownopengov.net. Okay, so that was my article. Now, this month, Sue Siegel, who used to be the former supervisor, used to be the former councilwoman, takes the town to court, saying that they can't have these closed meetings, and especially talk about hiring people for new jobs. And she goes in front of Judge Jameson in the Supreme Court, and the judge tells Mike McDermott, the new friend of Michael Grace, is the attorney for the town, you better tell these people, open the meeting, you can't talk about this in closed session, because that's the law. So what do? They have closed session. Vishnu Patel is the only one that's not associated with the other 4 people on the board. They start talking about hiring an engineer, an assistant engineer, and he walks out. He says, the judge told you can't do that. And the attorney, Michael McDermott for the town, says the judge in the Supreme Court never said that. It's unbelievable. I can get away with this stuff. So anyway, Sue Siegel took him to court. Sue Siegel won, but now they're not doing what the judge in White Place told him to do. So now, it didn't cost Sue Siegel anything to file that complaint. An Article 78 is a bigger lawsuit, which could cost a person a lot of money to do that. But again, now take this. Michael Grace has 4 meetings that are supposed to be closed sessions, not open. At the last closed session, he opens the meeting to the public. There's nobody there except Sue Siegel, who's waiting to see what was going to happen. So tonight is the same thing. I'm going to back Sue Siegel up if they open it for public comment or a work session. Now, they do a lot of stuff in these work sessions. And then they come out at a business meeting, and it's too late. They pass the resolution, and then the people suffer with higher taxes and stuff like that. So, and there's one more article, and all on the same page, about the judge needs to change his course. Michael Grace recently stated he was taking Yorktown in a different direction. Grace hired Michael McDermott, I tell you, that's the attorney, to further his ends. Since January, Supervisor Grace has changed long-established public comment rules and established several questionable closed-door meetings. It's just what I'm talking about. So it's just summarizing what's happening, and that the people are losing their right to speak and their right as a democracy. So Nick, nothing's really changed, but now nobody could talk. You get a 3-minute rule for some people. Other people can be up there and talk longer. I wish you were around, Nick. So we were supposed to go up in front of the board, and I asked the people in the UTY to show up, but I couldn't leave my work, and I couldn't get there. There was a few UTY members there. But here's some of the questions we wanted answered by the board. A resolution should be suggested that no member of the town board should run for elected office knowing that he or she is delinquent in local taxes. Now, we told you about Michael Grace. $30,000, plus I think he even owes more in interest. Nor should any board member should be running for office from Albany, Westchester, who is delinquent. Well, it just, there's the senator, Terrence Murphy. Now, it said that Murphy owed $19,000. Now, Senator Murphy wrote in response to our members saying that the senator should pay his taxes, $19,000. So he said, now you gotta understand, he owns a business with his family, and they owe back taxes from 2013. So he says he's a partner, but he didn't know that they didn't pay his taxes. He has his own business. He's up to date with his taxes and stuff like that. So you really can't blame him. But his family has to repay their taxes. So that's a state senator. We got a supervisor. And what we have a whole list of people that there is in Yorktown is over $3 million in people or in money that people haven't paid their back taxes. And you wonder why Michael Grace never foreclosed on these people? Because if he had a foreclosed on those people, he would have foreclosed on himself. Unbelievable. Okay, let's see if we got some more. We want to know from each board member, do you think it is appropriate to schedule 4 closed-door meetings and sessions at the same time in 1 month, and to reverse the long-standing courtesy of the floor rules? Now, they made it where they're going to start courtesy floor at any time. So if you go there in the beginning, like it used to be, in the first half hour, you'll be able to speak. Now, it depends who's there. Now, the last meeting they had last Tuesday, today's Thursday, it was about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So if you were there, and I was going to get there by 9 o'clock, I figured he had all these public hearings, but it was over by the time I got there. Well, I was going to go there anyway. Okay. Let's see. Will the board members provide taxpayers with a list of any official or employees that are delinquent in taxes? Oh, wow. What is the board's reasoning not taking action long-term on the delinquencies? What is the truth that the town has? Oh, the truth is the town has over $3 million, okay, in taxes. Is that true, that the town has over $3 million in uncollected taxes? Let's see the next one. Do any relatives in the last 4 years have been hired for government positions? So what had happened is that 4 years ago, when Michael Grace came in office, he put his wife into the Receiver of Taxes office. Since then, she's left. Now Mary, who's his secretary, her sister Nancy, is working in the Receiver of Taxes office. Now, in the last budget, she got a 40% increase in her wages. Now, folks, I work for the town as a court attendant or a court officer, and I haven't had a raise in 4 years. Did I try to tell you something? It's not fair. Everybody else in the court has gotten good raises. So like I said, being a watchdog, it's not easy. But I get a tough skin. But the thing is, I'm getting up there in my age. And I don't know if I can hold my temper back when these people come in front of my face and threaten me. So we'll see what happens. Okay. The last question, will the board consider waiving their recent raises to fix the leak in the ceiling of the town hall building? Now, they passed a bond issue 2 years ago, $6.2 million, and part of that bond issue was to fix the buildings. It's still leaking, still has a water stain. The tiles are still broken up, asbestos tiles. So I don't know why he doesn't fix it. He has the money. And now at the last work session, they brought in people to take all the information in the town and put it on computers, digitalize all the information. I think they agreed on it, and they're going to float a bond issue, but they never said how much the bond issue was going to be or how much it was going to cost. So I don't understand it. With 4 people on the board, again, his puppets, his rubber stamps, is going to get it passed. So I probably have enough for one more thing here. Affordable housing coming to Keir Street. 3-story commercial residential building proposed. Okay. So last Monday was the 3rd time I spoke at the hearing at the planning board, saying that, number one, the parking on Keir Street, if you park on both sides, there's a solid yellow line. People go by with trucks, people have been hitting cars. The neighbors that have businesses there don't want it because they need parking for their people. The people that take the bus park their cars there. So anyway, it's up to the planning board. Now, they changed some of the plans for the building to make it safer and all that stuff. But they still have to make a decision by next month. Now, do you know what the Westchester County agreed to in their HUD agreement, the federal government and the town of Westchester on the Andy Spano in 2009? Andy Spano took $60 million to desegregate Westchester County. Okay. Now, what it says in this article, you got to listen to this. So you got to listen to this, folks. This is unbelievable. Let's see. Okay. The county will sell a private developer for $1 the land. So according to this article, Westchester County bought, it's not even a half-acre land, 0.41% of an acre. It's not even half an acre of land. So the county bought the land, and I think it says here how much it is, okay? It bought the land December 11 for $1,120,000 for the project. An additional $1.85 million in funding will be provided by New York State home program. The remainder estimated at, altogether that's $3.8 million for this developer who got that money, and he has to pay, it cost him $900,000. Legislative Chairman Michael Kaplan says that's how we do it, these deals. Unbelievable. So folks, you got to remember, affordable housing under the settlement, they have certain requirements. You have to be under a certain amount of income, and you have to be a minority. These houses, affordable homes now, we have one opposite BJ's called the Crossings with 26 houses there. We got another one called Underhill Crossings with 60. Now at Keir Street is another. In Keir Street, it's another 12. Now they have one at, they call it Compound Terrace, right next to where Costco's coming in. That's going to be another 16. And there's another one, I think it's 12, somewhere on Clover Street, something like that. And we have to find out if that's affordable housing too. But why are all these affordable housing coming to Yorktown? It's because the government in Westchester County had to get 750 units, either homes or rentals, to meet the settlement's demands. So that they're not getting it in all over Westchester. It's coming to Yorktown. Chappaqua don't have any, and there's other places that don't have any that are discriminating against minorities. So folks, those are some of the things that are happening in Yorktown. and these people that did Underhill Crossings, one from low income to affordable housing, Keir Street, they're lawyers, but it's called the Marathon Construction Group, who has contributed to Michael Grace and other politicians in our area. So folks, one of the worst things that can happen is if they bring in extra kids. They have 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, and in Yorktown and Lakeland, it's probably $28,000 a year for one child. All right, so listen, thanks for watching. Nick, it was great to have you sitting here. You made it easier for me to talk to the people out there. Don't forget to give me a call or go on our website. And if you have any questions or concerns, 245-1018. And that's our website now. Please, it's a lot of information on there. Thank you, Mike, again for being my director. And we'll see you next time. And we're out there fighting for you. And George, one of these days, you're going to come on the show. Thanks for watching, and good night.